guys, Calxiyn here. Let's start off by saying thank you to our current patrons, Huntsman Tier, Patron Edwin, and Academy Professor Jackson Buchanan, for supporting us on Patreon. Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about, because the last episode of RWBY just came out.
Of season 4 of RWBY.
Yeah, okay.
This is the last one ever!
No. We kind of had some guesses. We were gonna make a video on those guesses, but then Hunter disappeared yesterday, and I was like, normal guesses like Ren's gonna die, Crow's gonna die, Renora's gonna kill, like stuff like that.
And you were wrong on every front. I don't know why you have such a death fixation, but I was right, and you were wrong.
Okay.
And I am so happy.
Well, let's just start. Okay, calm down. I'm playing alone in Horde mode, so I'll probably be restarting a lot, just because
oddly
this
enough,
isn't gonna go very well. Yeah, no one's
everyone's
playing the game
probably
right now.
watching RWBY the show and not playing RWBY the game.
Well, anyway, so we just opened the episode with everybody getting thrown to shit, like no exaggeration.
Yeah, just like everyone was getting their ass kicked
yeah,
by this giant grim monster thing.
Pretty much, yeah. And then it does this twitchy, cracky thing a couple of times, and it's really
very unnerving.
It's kind of creepy. It's very
creepy. It looks
creepy.
kind of goofy, but in
it
action,
does. It looks ridiculous.
It looks kind of goofy, but then in action, it can get disturbing quickly.
I mean, they beat it pretty fast though. Like, not to complain, but it was not as menacing.
They took half the episode to beat it.
It wasn't as menacing as I thought. If it killed somebody, I would have felt better. But like, there were no casualties. Like, nothing bad happened. Like,
because you have a death fixation.
Like
We've already gone over this.
has taken down villages and shit. But like, oh no, it's too.
I admit that I feel like.
You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel as scary as when it destroyed Ren's town. You know, like it didn't. It made sure. Like, they made short work of it.
Half the episode. However, there was like a sort of sense that they were getting their ass beaten. They were fighting tooth and nail it the entire time. There was one or two fake outs, one particularly good fake out with Nora and Ren.
Yeah.
Nora jumps in front of another one of his tentacle arms things which extend like Bender from Futurama. Really disturbing when you look at it. But it's almost gonna kill Ren. Nora knocks it out. Nora's pinned to the wall. Dramatic scene. We think Nora's dead. Nora's not dead.
I mean, I didn't think Nora was dead when that happened. Like, I was like, oh no. But I didn't, Anyway, out of all the people I thought were gonna die, Nora was not one of them. So.
I feel like both of us were going back like, Ren, Nora, no, Crow, John. So it was...
Anyway.
I was in the room with you. You don't lie to me.
I know, but I didn't. Nora was never kind of on my radar.
Anyways, there was a funny joke.
Yeah, but hold on. We gotta talk about some important things first. Ren can project his semblance. He projected his semblance to help Crow and John. So not only can he do it to himself, but he can also what am I saying? Hold on. He can also project it on other people. Yeah. And Crow and John have this kind of weird scene where John brings him behind a building and Crow grabs his arm and like, I don't know, like the
holds his hand. It's almost to say like, if you go, you're probably going to die.
That's kind of the vibe that I got from it too, but it kind of seemed like, it almost kind of seemed like, don't do it, or like, at the same time,
you're gonna get fucked.
Because of the relationship that John and Crow have had this season, I feel like it was also a good luck sort of grab, like, hey, like, listen, for all of our differences, like, I believe that you guys can do this sort of thing. Like, I think that that's also, because there was more hand grabbing later, and we know that Nora kind of had this, like, okay, we, like, don't go out there and kill yourself like this. That's what she said. And so maybe Crow's hand grabbing was the same, like, if we're, comparing, but anyway, so John has a new weapon upgrade, sort of. It turns into, like, a hybrid of his shield.
He sticks his sword in his sheath, and then the sheath kind of pops out a bit, makes a bigger sort of sword, and he runs around using that on the giant Grim.
My papers are like, everywhere, and I can't put them anywhere. So yeah, the Grim was basically insane. Like, its arms extends, it grabs people, it does this tornado thing with his arms. Like, it was just... Like, it was some scary shit, man.
Charges people. It's
Like,
very creepy.
if it had a more of an outward, like, scary appearance, it probably would be more scary. But, you know, it was scary enough. Like, it was scary to a good degree, you know what I mean?
It
Like,
was sort of goofy looking, but it was very menacing in how it moved.
in battle, yeah. And how
And
it
also-
moved and, like, the noises it made, like, the twitchy...
And the beginning of the fight, they were very good at portraying how difficult it was to fight this thing.
Yeah, but then they kind of just got it and everything was fine. So, Ren and Nora...
Can we just talk about that for a moment? Because we kind of mentioned this before. Ren and Nora, Ren starts getting a little too suicidal.
Well,
Nora...
I thought you wanted to talk about the joke that was in the middle of all this.
Well, I mean,
before we get to, like, the sad part.
Look, it wasn't really sad. Just watch the video of what, it's us stumbling over that same joke. It's not going to be as good. But
Basically, Ren and Nora both get pinned up, and Nora's trying to get her hammer unhooked. And she's like, don't look, like, up her skirt. And Ren, like, turns his head away. I'm like, guys, it's not the time. It's not the time to do this right now.
it was kind of,
It was a nice,
it was
like,
perfect
relief,
timing. It
you know?
was wonderful, wonderful timing.
Because, you know, we thought that, we were pretty sure that one of them were gonna die, but then after that lighthearted, kind of joke there, I was like, okay, like, everybody's fine. Like, it didn't seem like...
you still look
After
good. But-
that part, like,
okay,
I
but-
thought that it'd be okay.
But the
then
fight-
we get to, like, the fight continues, and they're not doing so hot, so, Ren and Nora both fall over, their oars are broken, but then Nora tackles Ren, and they both go under a building. And you don't really see what happens, but you hear, like, RWBY still doing her gun thing, so I'm guessing the fight's still going on.
Yeah,
and they
RWBY
have this,
doesn't
like,
really hold her own. in
RWBY
this
isn't
one.
doing well. Like, in
She
this
just
fight
kind of-
scene, she didn't do that great. Like, she didn't do her tornado thing. Like, there wasn't any, like, team attack. You know, like, she was just shooting at it, and so I was like, okay. You know, like, I'm glad they're not making her overpowered, but, like, don't make her useless. Like, don't get it twisted. I still want her to do things, you know? I was like, yeah, she hasn't done anything useful all episode. I was being mean while we were watching this, not gonna lie. But, yeah, so they go under the thing. Hunter, can you flip my page so I can, because I wrote down exact quotes. So Nora kinda, like, Nora grabs his arm, and he's like, Nora, let go! And she's like, Navi. She didn't say that, she just didn't let go. Then Ren says something like, oh, you know, the others are in danger, we have to go help them, like, you know, your normal Ren dialogue there, and she slaps him across the face, and then she's like, I won't let you kill yourself like this, and I was like, oh, I don't want to say that was dark, but it was just, you know what I mean though, Hunter, right? Like, it was kind of, like, out of nowhere almost, like, it wasn't a line I expected to hear anytime soon, almost, you know what I mean? Like, it was just... like, it kind of hit you a little bit. Especially because we know in Ren's, what was I saying? We know in Ren's backstory that, like, for his character inspiration, it's Mulan, and Mulan actually killed herself at the end of her source material. You know what I mean? And so for her to say it like that just kind of brought back, you know, I don't want to say memories, but it was, like, almost alluding to that. I don't know, it was just a harsh line. Like, not how she said it, like, just on my heart. It just felt like a harsh line. And she said, like, not like this or something. But I don't understand why she said for Ren not to go out, and then they were like, okay, we can do this. Like,
Because go out alone, because it was really, because that's
I understand, like, she was trying to say, Ren, don't be reckless, like, we can't go out like this, and then Ren kind of calmed down, and she was like, okay, now we can go fight it.
This was kind of disappointing about that fight scene, is that it went from, like, very kind of helpless, and they were sort of feckless in fighting them, and then they kind of had their breather under their little team meeting under the
yeah,
the building.
I was like, what are you guys doing right now?
And then they come back and suddenly like, okay, I'll take the arms, you take the horse, I'll take the head. And then they just beat it in like 5 seconds after that. It just didn't seem, I thought it was going to be more like scraping tooth and nail brutal.
Yeah.
And then we have a scene at the end where Ren takes his father's little knife
Whoa. You're
oh, I'm
getting
sorry,
a little
did I
ahead of
forgot to
yourself.
mention a fucking black bird in the background? Maybe it was Raven! So,
I I was gonna say that Ren loses his weapons, and so all he has is his dad's knife. And so that is what he is basically kind of using to kill the monster, and it's kind of this, like, I don't know, there's a sense of revenge there, that he's taking revenge for his father and mother, but then we actually see him do that, and so when Ruby and John all get the arms and the legs and whatever else, Ren goes up to the head, and I was like, okay, something bad's gonna happen here, because Ren's taking his sweet time. Like, he got to hurry up, but, like, he was okay.
Yeah, he carves up the
but he says, first for his mother, then for his father, then for all of the people you've slain, and then for myself. I like that line.
No.
I liked it!
This is why you like Riverdale, because you look at you say cliche so often. The word assaults my ears, and yet when something like that happens, you're like, I love it.
It was well
so I don't want to hear it.
But it was, you're right, but it was well done. I thought it was well done.
I don't know, I didn't.
I thought it fit
like
Ren's character very well, but I would have liked it better if Ren got penalized for doing that. Like if the monster tried to bite him or something, you know, because the monster just stands there.
Because you just want Ren to die.
No, but I mean, like, you're saying, okay, I understand what you mean. Like, it is, and I agree with you, like, it is a cliche thing to do, but I'm saying that would make it less so, because someone made a good point in our comment section that every story is gonna have a cliche, but here's the thing, you can do a cliche well. It's still a cliche, but if it's a well-done cliche, it's not as noticeable, you know what I mean? And so, I thought that this was well done, that's why I didn't get around to mentioning all of that yet. And I wouldn't say cliche, like, it's more of a trope in this case, I feel.
Trope and cliche are like the same thing.
Yeah, well, somebody said that trope is a nicer word for when it's done well, and then cliche can be our word for when it's done bad. So just, you know, respecting the commenter's wishes. Sure.
Fuck the commenters.
I don't know, I just thought it was nice. I thought it was nice. I'm sorry, and like I liked that they showed what a character was thinking for once, because it didn't seem like he was saying that out loud. It seemed like he just...
Yeah, he was thinking.
He was thinking it, and that's never really happened before as far as I remember. Like, it's always there... And RWBY has a scene like that later where she's also thinking inside of her head. It was nice. It was just nice.
Disagree. I think I liked the fight scene I liked
most
of it.
half of the fight scene.
I liked most of it.
I agree.
The end, it was the end and the ending. And then when they beat it, they're just, you know, ships come down. It's like, oh, we got you, don't worry. Like, when that happened, you were chanting, winter, winter, winter. Wasn't winter, it was just random minstrel people. They
were surveying the area, which sounds like something that I guess they would do, and they saw the smoke, so it made sense. Like, it wasn't like...
It wasn't like Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, we're here to save you, you know? Like, if they didn't beat the Grimm, then they would have never gotten rescued, and I kind of like that, you know what I mean? Because the Grimm, like, they didn't have to fight it. They could have ran the fuck away, but they would have never gotten rescued, you know? So good work, I guess. I don't know. Ren's scene was really, I don't know, I just thought it was touching. Like, I was crying when Ren was doing his mom and dad, like, I'm gonna kill the Grimm for you thing. And so I thought that the Grimm wasn't gonna be done though after the smoke happened. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, you haven't seen my final form.
Well, they kind of do that at the beginning where he gets bigger.
The spikes but I thought it was gonna be like, oh, you thought you killed me? That's funny. You know what I mean? But they didn't.
My final form. Yeah. So.
Okay. So it wasn't too bad of a Grimm. Like, there have been worse Grimm, I feel, in the series. Like, for the dragon, RWBY had to freeze it, if you remember. I don't know, it was a little bit anticlimactic. Like, I try not to be too, like, depressing, because last episode, you know, I was really critical of everything I felt, but I don't know, there was a little bit of disappointment, and I'm glad Hunter agrees this time, so I'm not alone.
I mean, it wasn't a lot. It was just kind of like the fight scene. It just sort of just was all too convenient. And I didn't know what I wanted, but I don't think I wanted that.
It would have been nice if maybe it was Winter though that came to save them? Because we know she's there. It would have been.
We were taking bets. You said Raven. I was chanting like Neo, Neo, Neo.
What do you
Neo,
mean?
Neo.
I said Winter in the airship.
You said yeah. Sorry, you went to. But before that, we were taking guesses like who's gonna come save them.
Like I meant like save them against the Grim. I didn't think that Winter was gonna pop it.
But like save
Hunter
them in
was
some
so
sense.
determined for Neo to come up this episode.
For Neo wasn't it? I have to wait 7 months, all right, for Neo to return.
Maybe. We don't even know if she will, though. That's the thing.
If Neo never returned.
No, I don't mean never. I just mean we don't even know if it'll be next episode. Anyway, so Weiss gives this dude a bunch of money, and he's like, hey, you can hide in the cargo hold, but, you know, I don't know if that's gonna go too well for you. Like, you're on your own if you get caught. And she's like, okay. Like, whatever.
Just standing there
She's just standing there, like, looking at the airship, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Ren has a monologue, but I don't actually remember what it was, but I wrote it down. So what was it?
Ren had a monologue?
RWBY, sorry.
RWBY, okay.
I can't read.
No, all this happens over RWBY, so she writes a letter to Yang.
Whoa, no, not yet.
What are you talking about?
She did, I thought there was something else in between there. What am I missing? Oh, okay, so, I think they all get into the, hotel. I think that's what I'm thinking of. She doesn't start her monologue until they get out of the hotel, I thought.
No, they walk into the hotel.
No, she's writing the letter in the hotel though,
Yes.
but they have like a scene on the airship, but she's not talking. I think the scene on the airship I'm thinking of, first she's with Crow, they're gonna get him help, and then it kind of pans to Ren and Nora, and Ren like holds Nora's hand, and like the boop reprise is going on in the background. Hunter doesn't have a musical ear, so he's like, do you recognize this song? And I'm like, yep! Like, it's the reprise! Anyway, so we get into the hotel. Crow is just kind of chilling. I guess they got him medical help, though they don't really show that part or how they helped him. It would have been nice if they said, hey, here's the thing that combats Tyrion's poison. Like, you know, not outwardly, but if he had a bottle of, like, medicine on his bed or something so we could see, hey, someone's made an antidote for this shit. But, you know, it was just kind of, oh, Crow's better. Like, we don't know how he's better, but, like, by goddamn, like, he's better. So anyway, RWBY starts monologuing. She starts writing a letter to her sister. And apparently she's been sending letters the entire time. Maybe that's why Ty didn't go after her, but, like, I don't think that's a good enough excuse, because that was my daughter. Like, I'd go after her. She'd be coming home. But anyway, so we see Weiss hiding in the cargo hold. RWBY's monologue is really good. It just kind of sums up the entire volume. I feel like not like, oh, we did this and then we did that. Like, it's not like that. It's more like, what am I saying?
Maybe the development of the characters?
Yeah, it's kind of how everybody's come as far. And then over that, you see Blake. She picks up a White Fang t-shirt or a banner or something that has, like, the red
like
White
bad
Fang.
One, and then there's like the good White Fang, and she lowers it, and she sees Sun that was covered there, and it was like, I have a bad feeling Black Sun's gonna be confirmed.
Okay, well, let's slow down a minute, because she didn't blush or anything. She just looked at him and smiled. Like, I smile at my friends all the time.
Also, you should have seen that, like, the stink eye Cal just gave me.
Yeah,
I
did.
dare talk over her.
Because I was explaining something. Anyway,
you see, there was a bird in the background.
Oh my goodness, I have not mentioned anything weird like that this entire episode. Stop. Okay, so Blake is there for a minute. She pulls out the bad White Fang thing, but then it pans to Yang before we see the good one. But that doesn't really matter too much. So RWBY mentions.
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
To Yang?
No.
Oh.
I wasn't done yet. I mean that her, like, what order everything came in doesn't matter too much.
Fair enough.
Except for during RWBY's monologue, she says that we've all lost something along the way, sort of thing.
And
we pan to Jean, and Jean's sitting on his bed, and he's all sad looking at his weapons. If you guys remember, Pyrrha's in his weapons, like, not like Pyrrha's ashes or anything, like Pyrrha's crown and all that. Just some clarification there. And so Nora comes and rests her head on Jean's shoulder, but she did that to Ren earlier when they were holding hands. And so now I'm confused. Like, I'm like, Okay, she
No,
did.
that was more like a comforting thing.
I know, but
Before,
like
I think
it just.
was more romantic.
I understand, but it's
Look,
because
alright.
the same action happened twice to two different guys. I'm like, Nora, like.
Look,
listen, calm down.
They animated that, you know, Nora bending over, leaning ahead thing. They're like, might as well use it twice.
I mean,
I don't think there's any great conspiracy there.
I don't think so either. I just thought it was weird because I'm like, and then Ren put his hand on Nora's shoulder, and I'm like, that's right, Ren, you tell her to let John steal your other girl. So Cold is actually playing in the background when Jean is having his like sad moment there. So then Weiss is just out in the open in the cargo hold, and I'm like, Weiss, like, if we were doing a Cinema Sins of Volume 4, I would sin that, like, twice. Because the guy was like, hey, you gotta hide back there. If you get caught, like, there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, Weiss, like, at least get in a crate. Like, don't be just standing looking at the sunset. Like, don't do that.
And
that
then,
was a hint for a project that we're working on, by
and
the way.
then we... You're so subtle!
Then we see the good white thing flag, but after that, more importantly, we see Yang getting off the boat with Sky, the sea person, like
that we see earlier.
that we saw earlier with the captain. And so we saw that same boat, and we saw like not a deserty area, but like a beach area. And so we were like, shit.
She's going to see Blake!
Yeah,
I was so excited.
Freaked out.
And also, even better news is that earlier on some of the promotional stuff, we saw
a different outfit.
Yeah, so
and we
now
saw that again. Like Yang has her sunglasses. Like
it looks
she's
very
on the
good.
boat, and yeah, we saw that old outfit. So I guess they just wanted to throw her in that, like as a last. Kind of like, hey, we showed you guys this thing. Don't worry, it's still gonna be in this volume, just at like the very, very end.
She has a robotic arm. She ditched the nub thing.
Oscar is going to Haven. We see him looking at a Haven poster, and you know, RWBY talks about like, oh, we're all following our dreams, and then we're like, what happened to Blake? Like, I wrote down twice, she's in Menagerie, because it looked like Menagerie for a minute.
I thought it was Menagerie as well. But
exactly, this wasn't just like me being delusional.
It
like,
was minstrel.
Me and Hunter, but yeah, it was minstrel. Hold on, we'll get to that.
I'm sorry, am I interrupting me so much?
Yeah, this is, again, something important that you're skipping over. Emerald
There was a bird!
Emerald is making, this is not a bird, actually.
Well, I have a theory I want to get to. That I've mentioned before.
Emerald is making versions of RWBY, like hallucinations of RWBY for Cinder to fight. And before we saw Cinder like barely killing those Grimm, like she lets out like a fire hurricane at RWBY hallucination. So it's nice to see Emerald and Mercury. She didn't talk or anything like that, but you know, it was nice to see them, and it's nice to see how her powers are working out. We see Salem again, and Salem's like, oh,
she's
good.
Very approving.
Disappointed? Were you gonna say no?
I said disapproving, but no, I meant approving. Also, I feel bad for people who really like Emerald and Mercury, because
yeah, I have some commenters like that, and I'm like, I feel very bad for you guys right now. But anyway, so we thought that they were gonna go see Yang. Wait, we thought that Yang was gonna go see Blake. She's not. She is on this kind of foresty area, and then we were like, oh, she's in Minstrel. And then it shows on the sign Kageyuri, that's crossed out now, and it has bandits written on it. And then she has. Oh, there was also a scene with Ty, but I'll talk about that later.
It was just Ty looking
at a picture. Yeah, and then Yang has that same picture, and she was looking at it, but then Ty looks at a different picture of RWBY, Blake, Yang, and Weiss all together with new friends with some hearts on it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It was just kind of weird though, like, you know what I mean? Because it just seemed kind of strange because you see the photo of Team Stark and it looks like a picture, but this looks like somebody drew Team RWBY and just stuck it in there. I don't know, maybe it's fan art or something, or holds some significance that we don't understand yet, but I'm sure when the trivia comes out for this episode, like, someone will mention that. But anyway, so Yang kind of shows us that she made a choice. She's like, oh, you're gonna be in so much trouble when I find you. And obviously she wasn't talking about her mom. Like, the way she said it, we knew she was talking about Ruby, but she goes on the Mistral path anyway. And yeah, she's just motorcycle Yang. Like, Yang got it easy, man. She took a boat. Like, she didn't just walk over to Mistral like Team Ruby did. And they already basically killed all the Grimm in the area. So Yang's just like, ah, my motorcycle. Like, how nice is it to be like that? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lovely day. There's not a Grimm in sight because your sister killed them all already.
It was kind of like at the end of the Lord of the Rings where Gandalf comes in on like those flying eagles and you wonder, why didn't they just take the eagles from the beginning? I question, why didn't Ruby just like, hey, you know, we have a motorcycle in the back, right? We can just...
Why would she take Yang's motorcycle though? And all 4 of them are not gonna fit on there.
By the time she was there, Yang was like all, you know, sad in a corner, not doing much, so would you blame her thinking like, hey, maybe Yang's a write-off, let me take your motorcycle?
Anyway, so then that Ruby's monologue ends, like, it's all pretty hopeful, like, things are gonna start going our way, and then the music changes, and I was like, uh-oh!
You've missed something.
No.
Yes, we did.
No.
So we talk about...
I'm getting to that, if it's what I think...
No, I'm talking about Iliad.
Oh, okay, whatever.
So there's a bit where it's like... where
I didn't write that down.
Well, that's what I've been trying to get at, and you chipped it up! So, so Ruby's talking about like...
misguided people.
Yeah, misguided people that we hope will change, and then when she says that, it shows Ilya. And I'm like, Ilya's gonna be a good person. Ilya's gonna be a good... And I think Ilya and Blake have a romantic relationship.
Oh no! Don't start this again!
This is my...
Oh my god, this is a stupid theory!
Look, alright, you thought Ren and Crow, that's their ship name, Ro, by the way. Ro was gonna die, alright?
Okay.
And then they weren't. And you
so did like a majority of the fandom though?
Well, like, sometimes a lot of people are wrong, and I'm one person that's hoping I'm right about this. It's just a theory, right?
Oh my
god.
But
I have very circumstantial...
Hunter read that fic with the blind girl, and now he really
almost non-existent evidence, but it's a spark, and I'm thinking,
He just ships them, that's all. There's no theory.
I'm thinking.
You just want them to do, what was the name of the fic with the blind
we were
bad
close.
girl? Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Hunter,
it works.
Hunter. Stop!
Say, look, oh yeah, and of course you talk cliche. Well, from a writer's perspective.
I didn't say that the entire video.
Because I made fun of you for it, even avoiding it since then.
No.
So
I just didn't have anything
to talk
about.
Talk about Lionheart and what's his face.
All right, so the music goes like bad, and then Watts is talking to Lionheart, and Watts is like, "Oh, Lionheart, Salem told me that you were always so hospitable."
I love you.
In Lionheart, we kind of see him a little bit, but like I couldn't tell like what part of his clothing we were seeing exactly. Like it could have been a shirt. Like it almost looked like one of the judges.
An arm.
Like you know when the judges wear like the white wigs on their heads, like. You know,
yes,
yeah, those things. Like it kind of looked like that with like some brown shit. Like it was just, we don't know. Like we don't know. Okay, so first I want to contradict your Ilya theory for a hot second. If Blake's gonna get with anyone, it's gonna get with Yang, not her reformed friend that tried to kill Sun.
I'm just saying, maybe they have a history. That could work.
Anyway, well, I mean, it seemed like they had a friend.
Also, when they
if she liked her like that, why would she willingly try to kill her earlier?
Well, you don't know if she wants to kill her so much as, well, I mean, she's attacking her, so maybe she has like complex feelings.
Oh boy, yeah, complex feelings. Okay, Hunter.
Well, unlike you, who have a solid black callous heart, you horrid person.
That's pretty much it for all of the scenes. Like, that's pretty much the final scene. Then we go to the credits. The name of the songs, you guys, just if you're curious, like, Every Morning Follows Night. I don't remember. That might have been when Blake was fighting, the thing with Sun earlier. That might have been it. Because we did hear a little bit of music. My complaint for this volume is that we did not get as much music as we did before. Like, during the fight between Emerald and Mercury and Coco, let's say, like, we got a whole song and the song was playing while they were fighting, but they didn't do that, like, at all. this volume, and so that upset me a little bit. Like, I get why, like, because there was a lot of talking at times, and so that, but, you know, like, they could have adjusted things a little bit, because there was talking in the Coco fight as well, and they still played the music. Would you agree with that, Hunter? Like, there's always been songs, like, maybe it's just volume 3 that did that. I don't remember.
I also think you have like a higher,
I guess like
appreciation for the songs, or you care
fetish.
More about I do.
So then this Life Is Mine, that's a song
like,
that Yang...
Do you hump treble clefs? What's the music fetish?
This Life Is Mine was Weiss's song, then Bad Luck Charm was playing with Crow when he was fighting Tyrion. A little bit, like, we didn't hear any, like, actual singing, like, that was the name of the song. We did hear a couple lyrics, but, like, it wasn't as extensive as maybe in Volume 3 would have been, you know? And I don't know, maybe you're right, I might have a greater appreciation for the music, but, like, that doesn't mean it shouldn't still be there. Oh my goodness. I'm dying in this fight. Good thing the video's over. So, Hunter and oh wait, I'm not done yet. Armed and Ready is the last song in the credits, and it's really good, so I'm happy with that.
So Cal was gonna exit out of the video, but I was like, oh, you're still talking about the music that people care so much about?
No, I'm saying that Hunter informed me that there is always a after credit.
Yeah, well that's what I was about to talk about.
Oh, okay, well.
You're always cutting me off.
I didn't cut you off.
You forgot
that
there's like, I
didn't know, because the way we watched them, they didn't include those in the Netflix.
No, they did.
No.
Yes, they did.
They didn't. I've never seen that scene with Crow before, or at least I don't remember.
No, I mean, I forgot what it was. I mean, it wasn't crazy memorable, but not as much as the other ones are. But no, I know I showed you them.
Anyway, Hunter wanted it to be Neo really bad, and I
was chanting. I was like, it's gonna be Neo. It's gonna. But it cut to Crow at a bar.
Crow drinking. And he's like, better. He's fine.
It's like, you got poisoned. That's gonna hurt your liver, and then the first thing you think to do is add alcohol to that. The man has a death wish, and so then I'm like, there could still be Neo, but no, it was Oscar walks up.
Yeah, so Oscar was like, excuse me, and there was this pause, and Crow's just like, you're a little bit too young to be in here, pipsqueak. And then Oscar's like, I'm getting to that, but he doesn't talk to like Crow. He's talking to Ozpin in his head. So everyone that has come across Oscar probably thinks he's freaking crazy.
I mean,
because he's talking to himself like in public. But whatever, you know, that's okay. Like, do you, Oscar? And then Oscar's like, I'm supposed to tell you that I'd like my cane back, and he's like, welcome back, Oz. And he just smiles, and there's this weird kind of, like, thing where, you know, Ozpin's in Oscar's body, like, you know, but...
Which, you know, how exactly does that work? But I digress.
I mean, I think we know how it works by now. But anyway, that's pretty much it.
And then the episode ends.
Yeah. So, since we're almost done, I'm not going to start another game. But final thoughts.
Start another game, so at least there's something interesting to watch.
Okay, but but I'm gonna exit out of them, and I don't want to hurt these poor people playing the game.
All right, so then I guess we could do like talk about the episode, talk about the season.
I thought that we should talk about the season in a different video, because I feel like that may get a bit long. If you want to do that, I don't know.
I say we just talk about it here. Look, we've never shied away from making, like, hour and a half.
Yeah, I know, but I thought, you know, like, it'd get more views if it was separate. Anyway,
so we're gonna talk about what we think's gonna happen for the next season.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
What do we usually do?
I don't know. I thought we were gonna say just our thoughts on the episode and, like, get to that, like, at another time.
Okay, you're really milking this for you.
Anyway, sure, we can talk about it all now. I don't give a... Anyway,
you clearly do.
I really like this episode. I don't know. It had its issues, but at the same time, it was almost a half an hour. Yeah. I like seeing where all the girls were going. I think they intentionally tricked us with Yang going to... Because it doesn't look so much like Menagerie. Like, it did not look like Minstrel at all. It looked like the exact same town from Menagerie. Maybe they reused it? I don't know. I was cheesed.
I mean, the architecture is pretty similar.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh my god.
So it's like...
But you know, other than that, I thought everyone's dialogue, like, was really good. Ren's little thing with his parents. Ruby's monologue,
Ruby's monologue, yes.
Seeing Yang in her new outfit. She has this, like, little purple thing, like, around her leg. I don't know if she always had that.
Yeah, there's always a splash of purple in her outfit.
But I don't know. I thought that was nice. I don't know. I was just... not gonna lie, like, I'm a little, I don't want to say a little disappointed, but like, I don't know, the hype
I think
kind of just fell, maybe, somewhere.
I think the fight scene was a tad disappointing near the end, and maybe that whole sort of situation, because it seemed too easy how they exited it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know, but I still, like, I don't know, I liked it. Like, I thought that it was good, even though the fight scene, as Hunter said, was a little bit for next volume, I think that the girls are obviously gonna get together soon. We're probably gonna see Yang and Blake, Yang and RWBY, sorry. I have other things on my mind. Yang and RWBY,
explicit bias towards homicide!
I didn't, that's not exactly what I meant.
Look, when you say Blake and Yang in the same sentence together, we all know what you're thinking, pal.
Anyway,
don't try to fool us.
I don't remember what I was saying anymore, so thanks. Right, they're gonna meet first because, you know, Yang's already in Minstrel. Then, you know, Weiss is probably gonna get kicked off a cargo ship somewhere and go looking for her sister. Then her sister's probably gonna meet up with Crow, and because they meet up with Crow, that means Weiss is gonna get back with RWBY and that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Weiss isn't just gonna stumble upon RWBY. I feel like that is how the connection will be made. Like, Crow may be looking for Winter, for some reason. Because Winter was, like, in Ozpin's circle for, like, all of, like, 5 minutes. Not in Ozpin's circle, but, like, it was there with Ironwood. Oh, dear. I think we just lost. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know, yeah. And so that's my guess. Blake will probably be the last to show up.
For the party.
Neptune, they'll probably all go to Haven. Like, Neptune will reunite with them because Neptune is at that school, and like, I don't know, things will happen. So that's all I got.
my theory is that I think a lot of what we thought was going to happen in this season did not. So I think it's going to all be moved back. Like the fight between Adam and Blake, I guess the rematch, I think that's going to be pushed to the next season. I think
yeah, because that was weird that they showed that, because every other fight that they showed kind of happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything else kind of happened in the end, like, you know, Blake and her parents on the boat, like, all of that, right? Like, you know what I mean?
So I think, and the whole White Fang rebellion, like we saw Ilya go up to the two
people and bow
White
her
Fang
head.
members bow. So obviously there's going to be that fight, and I think that maybe because of that fight, Blake won't join up with the rest of sort of Team RWBY.
She might lag behind a couple
really
episodes.
don't know where Weiss is.
She's in a cargo ship.
I mean, we do, but
she's
we don't exactly know.
She's going to Minstrel.
Okay, fine. So she's going to so they're all going to Minstrel. So, and also we know that Minstrel is gonna like be destroyed.
Well, I mean, it's planned to be destroyed, but
their headmaster is working with Salem. I don't think
that they're working together. I think that the thing is that Watts came to see him. I don't think they're working together. I think that.
But he said Salem always likes.
Yes, I know, but I'm not done. I think that the thing is that with that interaction, I feel like, because we know the story of Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion, right? And so I think that it might be a case of where Salem is blackmailing him or intimidating him or something, and that's why he can't do anything, because he's all alone on the other side of the frickin' world. Like, Ironwood, you know, might be helping, but he isn't exactly here. But it seems like the Cowardly Lion would be the informant in Minstrel then, if he is being, because it seems like he's just being abused by Watts. I don't think he's evil and, like, working with them on purpose. I don't think that's realistic.
I think
that the thing is that he's being intimidated somehow, because that is part of his, like, Wizard of Oz story arc. So I don't think, I think when you say working with Salem, you think of how Cinder and Watts and all of them are working with, like, no, I think he's being blackmailed, like, he's being intimidated into doing something that he doesn't want to do because he's all alone, right? Because Ironwood is the other headmaster, but now Ozpin's gone, like, he probably feels like he doesn't have any protection anymore. And, like, you know how in Wizard of Oz, the whole thing is that the wizard gives the lion courage, right? Like a paper, well, in the movie, it's like a piece of paper that says he's got courage or something like that. You know what I mean? And so I think that could be, I don't want to say that's a metaphor, but Ozpin gave him courage, and now, to the best of his knowledge, Ozpin's gone, and so he doesn't have that courage the wizard gave him anymore.
Also,
I think that's the thing.
Also, as I will continue my portion of this, Cal.
What?
I will. I will. So they also talked about how the academies were set to protect the relics. So it'd be weird that they didn't have the relic if the guy sent to protect the relic was working with him. So maybe he's protecting it still somehow. Not giving them the full truth. They probably don't know
where it is.
Unless they don't know where it is. So that
Salem doesn't know where the relics are, though. That's
but
the
I
whole
mean,
thing.
but the thing is that shouldn't the person protecting the relics know where the relics are?
He does know where. I'm pretty sure that Lionheart would know where it is.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but
and so
if they were working together,
she would have had it already. That's what I'm saying. Is
well, I mean, no, you didn't say that. I'm saying, well,
he's being like held against his will or something. That's what I mean.
Suddenly, his opinions changed.
Who?
Yours?
I know I said that already.
No, you didn't. You never said that. You didn't say that he had. That has nothing to do with the fact that
that's why she doesn't have the relic yet. I'm saying is that because I basically already said.
No, you did not. Anyways,
it's the same thing.
So there's an attack. So basically, Haven's
why would they
screwed.
have to attack the school if he would just give up the relic willingly? That's
yes, but if he was working, yeah, well, because I was okay. So moving on from that, Haven's fucked. You're a terrible co-host. Haven's fucked.
You're my guest.
Haven's fucked. You're
not though. It's not.
Well, okay, but oh yeah, because it worked well for Vale.
Okay, but that was a little bit different. You know, like all of the girls are there now. They're much stronger than they were before. You know, Ozpin or Ironwood's bringing his fleet. You know, like the world has changed because before Raven told Crow that there was an attack on Vale.
Ironwood's fleet was there for
Hold
the attack on Vale.
I'm not
Shit,
done
what a good
yet.
that did.
You're so irritating. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm saying that she didn't believe him, but they didn't believe each other before. That was the issue, is that they didn't believe that there was gonna be attack because Raven says, I told you there was an attack on Vale, and there was. So obviously Crow relayed that information, but they all didn't believe it. Now I think that they believe that something bad's going on, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying when
Whether or not Vale, but there's definitely going to be a major attack.
There's going to be a fight, but I don't think it's going to fall because now, like, they know what they're up against now. They know that it's going to happen, and now they're not going to say, oh, you know, I'm sure it's just a rumor. Like, Raven's not a trustworthy source. Like, I'm sure it'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's not happening again. At least I don't think that it will. And that's why I say, okay, saying that Haven's gonna fall, like, that's getting a bit ahead of yourself, you know?
Well, not that it's gonna fall, but it could fall, because it is getting attacked.
Yeah, it could, but, like,
I only ever said it could fall!
But you said that was your prediction for the...
Or, fall as in it's going to be attacked.
Okay, well, there's a difference between attacked and fall. Like, Pyrrha fell, RWBY was attacked. You know, there's a little bit of a difference.
Well, there was, like, because the fall, well, I mean, the events that occurred in the fall of Beacon are similar events are going to happen.
Oh, boy.
Whether or not it's successful or not, that's what I was meaning.
Anyway, I don't know. What were we... You were saying predictions for the next... I'm pretty sure we're good.
So, rough stuff's gonna happen. A lot of the things that were teased in this volume, I think, are gonna go on to the next.
Yeah. Okay.
Adam, I still think Ilya and Blake are gonna
Oh my goodness, don't bring that up again.
Oh yeah, you can tell. Oh yeah, and how is your 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse theory? Didn't work too well, did it?
We don't know.
So I can have this one as well.
What do you mean? Just because the Grimm died doesn't mean that it wasn't true. You know what I mean? Like, we can still find out that that's what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's dead. There are lots of things that come back to life in the show, Grimm being one of them. Yes?
I don't think there's catalyst for Grimm coming back from the dead.
I mean, Salem could just make the exact same one. What's stopping her from doing that, right?
Well, then they really aren't the... Anyways.
She could just pop it out of, like, pop it back into existence.
This episode is tearing us apart!
I know, so stop it! Okay, are we done?
Alright.
Are you done fighting with me?
Are you done? Okay, you are cutting me off way more than I ever cut you off, so I don't want to hear it.
I didn't mean to.
Plug
though. I
your
was just
patron.
talking. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. I feel like this was a good way to end like the
I love that when everything's all kumbaya and they're coming together and loving each other, we start to like rip each other to shreds.
Like it's the last episode, and like you know we're like basically breaking up. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support us, you can look at our Patreon, which is down in the description. Thanks again to Huntsman tier patron Edwin and Academy Professor Jackson Buchanan for supporting this video.
You say "or" like I get any money.
We are going to make another video today, kind of talking about the future of the channel, since, you know, we're going to be on hiatus for a while, or the show's going to be on hiatus. We're not going to be on hiatus. So Hunter and I are kind of going to explain things that we want to do and stuff like that, so you guys don't get worried about us disappearing. But after this episode, I don't know if you'll worry so much anymore. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye!